All right, guys, I know the NBA finals are going on right now. They've been amazing, but there's a story going on right now that not a lot of people are talking about, and I think they should. It's Kawhi Leonard and his injury things going on and his contract coming up. It's a hairy situation for the Los Angeles Clippers. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. Okay, so when we're talking about Kawhi Leonard, I think it's important to talk about what happened this postseason and why it was a little strange and no one really talked about it. So we all know that at the end of the Jazz series with the Clippers, near the end, Kawhi Leonard goes out with a knee injury that we find is an ACL injury that requires some sort of surgery, but it was quiet for like a month. Like we don't hear anything from Kawhi Leonard for that 30 days. It was just kind of up in the air what it was. We didn't know the severity of the injury. And then just like a few days ago, a week ago, we find out that Kawhi Leonard is going to have has surgery on his ACL tear. That's a month of time it took from when the injury happened to when the surgery happened. Now, there could be reasons for that. You know, there are things. So back when there's been some things that have happened with certain players with ACL injuries. I remember when Dante Exum tore his ACL for the first time with the Utah Jazz. They did a type of ACL. It's called pre-surgery treatment or whatever you want to call it, that takes time, that allows the ACL to kind of get in its best possible form for the surgery. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm not a doctor, but I remember writing about that for Dante Exum when that happened, so that it took some time before the ACL just got actually operated on. Maybe that's what's going on with Kawhi Leonard. The thing that's so weird, and the thing you hear from different sources on the internet, is that the Clippers never got any sort of information from Kawhi Leonard in his camp. And that's one of the things that's so tough when you're dealing with Kawhi Leonard, is just like the not knowing, the miscommunication, the things you have to do to just communicate with him. He's so quiet, nothing gets out. He's, very tight-lipped about everything, and it seems like he's probably extra tight-lipped right now, because what's going on is this upcoming season, Kawhi Leonard has a decision on his contract. But it's just a little strange to me that it took an entire month for Kawhi Leonard and them to let the Clippers know what was going to go on. So when you're looking at an ACL tear or ACL injury like this, you're looking at something that's going to last probably 9 to 12 months. And this is the problem for the LA Clippers, that they are going to be missing Kawhi Leonard. Even though, it took a month for him to have the surgery, he was probably missing the entire year anyway. It would have been nice for him to communicate those things with the Clippers, but either way, he's going to be out because he has an ACL tear. It takes a long time to come back. To do it the right way, you need to come back, or you need to take time to make sure that you heal correctly so that you don't re-injure yourself in the future. We've learned that if players come back too quickly from ACL tears, you threaten to injure other parts of your body. And we see sometimes that just happens anyway. We saw what happened with Klay Thompson with his injury. Comes back, tries to play on it, and promptly gets another season-ending injury. And so what Kawhi Leonard's going to do is going to take his time. He took his time to have the surgery with the month, whether it's because he didn't know what to do, what no one knows what was going on. Was it prehab? Was it trying to figure out if surgery was necessary, because I think it was a partial tear. Whatever it was, he took his time. And you can bet that 9 to 12 months, probably going to be more like 12 months. He's probably going to take his time to make sure that he can come back as healthy as possible, because he's going to have a contract coming up. It's going to be a season without Kawhi Leonard for the LA Clippers, and that's the problem that they're facing, is they're going to be without Kawhi Leonard. And that's not the only problem. They've got a contract problem going on right now, and there's some different options they have and some different rumors going around of places that Kawhi Leonard might be going. Before we talk about that, let's talk about Manscape.com. I'm going to get the ad in, guys. The Olympics, Euros, baseball, major championships, and concerts are all in this summer. You know what isn't? A wild and hairy bush. Tame your pubes with help from our friends at Manscaped, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Their 4th-generation performance package includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. It's great. If an athlete treats their body like royalty, why not treat your pubes like Olympic gold? Fellas, do right by your balls and join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com with code HoopsNerd20. Guys, let's work on our ball handling, all right? Are you guys good ball handlers, or do you need to work on it a little bit? If you do, get the Lawnmower 4.0. It's fantastic. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code HoopsNerd20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code HoopsNerd20 at manscaped.com. Achieve pubic glory this year with Manscaped. Guys, it's worth it. It'll save you like 20, 30 bucks depending on what you do. Could be even more if you go get a lot. There's a lot of packages. Go get them, guys. It is great. All right, so the issues going on right now with Kawhi Leonard in terms of contract is that he has a chance to opt in or opt out of this contract for next season. And if he opts out, he's a free agent. He can do whatever he wants. There are things coming from the Athletic saying that Kawhi Leonard loves the idea of going to play for the Warriors next season. Sources tell the Athletic. I don't know if Kawhi Leonard is going to go anywhere to like the Warriors or the Lakers. When I hear that rumor about Kawhi Leonard and the Golden State Warriors, it reminds me a lot of his time when he was in Toronto, where he was keeping everything kind of tight-lipped like he's doing right now with the Clippers, and then eventually decides to go to the Clippers. He even had remember, if he had with the Lakers, you had the Lakers thinking Kawhi Leonard was going to go there. And the Lakers were thinking that they just had to clear room so they could bring him over, make some moves to clear space, and they were going to be the big three in LA. And then we find out that whole time Kawhi Leonard was working with Paul George and the Thunder to try to find a way to get Paul George over to the LA Clippers. Now, do we think that Kawhi Leonard is doing that? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe there is some validity to him wanting to go to the Warriors. It's, definitely within his capability to opt out and just go to the Warriors. He could definitely do that. I don't think he's going to do that. What I think he's doing right now is putting out leverage. That's stuff that gets out there that puts pressure on teams. So right now, what's going on with the Clippers is they have, like everyone who has Kawhi Leonard on their team, you just don't have a very good line of communication with Kawhi because that's just how Kawhi is. But what's going on right now with the Clippers is that they are going to have to decide what to do. And it's an easy decision because if Kawhi Leonard opts out, they can offer him just a massive, big contract that I believe they can offer more than anyone else. So according to Michael Scotto, who was talking about this, he said, one executive I spoke to following the announcement that Kawhi had surgery to repair the partially torn ACL said he thinks no matter what, Kawhi would opt out, especially given the fact that Kevin Durant got the max after he suffered a ruptured Achilles. That executive also noted that Kawhi is going to hit the 10-year mark for his year of services, which plays a role in upping his max contract as well. And that right there, to me, is the reason why Kawhi Leonard is going to sign with the Clippers. Because they can offer him a 5-year massive max deal. Because of all the things he's earned, they can offer him more. I'm not a cap expert, so I don't know all the ins and outs and all the exact numbers. But I do know that the max, like the best option for Kawhi is opting out and then signing a massive 5-year deal with the Clippers. And it's probably something he wants to do because he's in his early 30s. I mean, there's some things he could do. He could just opt into this contract, and then after the season's over, he could try to get another one afterwards. He could opt out and go somewhere else, but I don't believe he can get paid as much elsewhere. Or he can just opt out and then re-sign with the Clippers for a large amount. Now, is that something the Clippers want to do? 100%. This league and the NBA is just if you have the stars, then you can win the title. The more stars you have, the better chance you have to go to the finals. And we saw with the Clippers that they had a lot of talent on this team. They have the right coach we've seen who has figured things out in series. He just ran out of talent to beat the Phoenix Suns because Kawhi Leonard was out. If Kawhi Leonard's on the floor, we found out that this Clippers team could have been really, really special. And it's hard for the Clippers because you now have 1 year with no Kawhi. You're going to have to get through that next season, which you're probably going to be, you're going to be a playoff team probably. With the way we saw the Clippers play with Paul George leading the way, was a really solid team that almost made it to the Western Conference Finals. That's a team that's probably going to be somewhere between 5 and 8. You can argue with me in the comments all you want, but that's about where you're going to see the Clippers fall in the playoff picture. But the Clippers are going to be happy to have a year like that, because it means another year of Kawhi Leonard. Having him go down with injury is, worst case scenario, but Kawhi Leonard is most likely going to look for security with this Clippers team. He knows it's a solid team. I doubt that he's going to go to the Warriors, because the Warriors are going to look at 1 year off. The Warriors are trying to win now, like I'm sure the Warriors would definitely be interested in signing him, but that also kind of means that the Warriors are going to have to make some moves to make it happen. And that means a year of no Kawhi while you wait. And that's another wasted year of Steph Curry's prime. That's why I think they're just not doing that. And I think the Warriors are probably going to look to make trades in this draft to probably just win now and find another piece to make things work for them. A year off, another year wasted of Steph's career is not what they want, because he's in his early 30s as well. My guess is that Kawhi Leonard is going to re-sign with the Clippers. They're going to be happy to do it. It's a frustrating situation for the Clippers, I'm sure, with this communication issue with Kawhi, but they're definitely going to re-sign him. And that's just the prediction. I would honestly be surprised if that doesn't happen. This stuff with like the Warriors, to me, is 100% Kawhi or Kawhi's agent or Kawhi's family or whoever is speaking to the agents and whoever, putting those out there to put pressure on the Clippers. Because all you need to do is just send out a little reminder of, hey, just so you know, if Kawhi wants to leave, he can. This isn't a restricted free agency thing where you can just match any offer. Kawhi can straight up walk, and that's the scary thing for the Clippers. I'm sure the Clippers are going to come in and just say, here's the contract, write in the number you want, and then we'll sign and you sign, and there we'll go. And that's what's going to happen with the Clippers, 100%. But it doesn't mean it's not going to be an issue, and it's going to be a tough year for the Clippers next year. Can they fit some guys in? Maybe, but most likely they're going to be having Kawhi Leonard's contract on the books, which they'll be happy to have, because having those 2 stars is what they need. But it's a missed year, and you're going to look at them trying to fill in the holes during that time. I don't know what they're going to do. And plus, because of all the picks they've given out to bring Kawhi Leonard over, it's not something they can't just like tank or anything like that either. So the Clippers are going to have a tough year next year, probably going to be kind of a wash. We'll see what happens with them, see if they can sneak into the playoffs or not. But either way, their biggest goal is going to be get Kawhi Leonard back. If they do, it's a big win, even with the ACL injury. Guys, that's all I got to say on the topic. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you want to join the channel and support the channel, be part of the live streams, which I promise are coming, that would be great. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe. Hit the bell to get the notifications when the videos go up and the live streams go live. I will talk to you next time.